It is a medium-sized bird. The Sterna hirundo is a species of seabird commonly known as the common tern. It has a circumpolar distribution with 4 subspecies breeding in temperate and subarctic regions of Europe, Asia and North America. Common terns almost always reside in colonies. The colonies tend to be along ocean coasts, although they are also found on the shores of large lakes. The two things necessary for a colony of terns are isolation from predators and a reliable source of food nearby. The birds also must be able to communicate visually and vocally with the rest of the colony from their nests. They nest among rocks, cliffs, rocky islands, berry beaches, salt marshes, and forage over open waters. After the breeding season, the common terns migrate south to spend their winter along the coasts of the tropics and the southern hemisphere in areas including Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. They have one of the longest migrations of all birds, with an average round trip of 35,000 kilometers each year. Common terns can be seen in Sri Lanka due to their status as winter visitors, their presence in coastal and inland areas, and their potential for breeding in the country. It is a medium-sized bird. These graceful birds are characterized by their silver-grey upperparts, white underparts, black cap, and red bills, as well as long tails that have earned them the nickname sea swallow. The tail is forked and the tail feathers are more elongated than those of most terns. The wings are pointed and the inner and outer parts of each wing are the same width. The female is usually smaller than the male, although only slightly. The bill is usually pointed downward when the tern flies. Other notable characteristics include an exceptionally powerful head and neck and unusually long legs, which distinguish them from other terns such as Arctic terns. Now let's listen to its call. Beautiful, isn't it? The common tern primarily carnivores who are usually limited to fish. They eat small fish typically less than 7 inches long. They also consume crustaceans, squid, and insects. At the beginning of the breeding season, they may eat insects, annelids, and echinoderms in addition to fish. However, later parts of the breeding season, their diet is small fish. They have a habit to steal food from other tern species and gulls. The feeding behavior of common terns involve foraging, mostly by flying over water, hovering, and plunging to catch prey below the surface. They may also dip down to take items from the surface of the water or pursue flying insects in the air. They often forage over open waters, singly or in groups, and may join feeding groups of other tern species and gulls. These terns are skilled at catching insects and are known to fly at greater height before diving for their prey, a behavior uncommon in other terns. They have improved eyesight, which helps them to find the schools of fish. Common terns can drink salt water or fresh water, and they have nostril glands that excrete excess salt. Since these birds feed on fish, they can be seen mostly in Sri Lankan beaches during beach sailing. Common terns, after migrating to their breeding grounds shortly after the beginning of spring, proceed to find a mate they reproduce in early to midsummer. They breed in a wider range of habitats than any of its relatives. The common tern nests on any flat, poorly vegetated surface close to water, including beaches and islands, and it readily adapts artificial substrates such as floating rafts. The nest may be a bare scrape in sand or gravel, but it is often lined or edged with whatever debris is available. They lay up to 3 eggs, which are dull colors. Blotchy patterns of eggs provide camouflage on the open beach. Incubation is by both sexes and the eggs hatch in around 21 days long. Eggs and young are vulnerable to predation by rats and large birds like gulls and owls. One of the parents attends the nest at all times after the eggs hatch. The female is often, but not always. Both males and females bring food back to the nest, but males are usually more involved in feeding than females are. Chicks are semi-precocial. Young terns usually learn to fly when they are 27 to 30 days old. Common terns are currently threatened by restricted habitat availability, human commercial predators, habitat loss from coastal development, and rising sea levels. However, common terns are classified as least concern on the IUCN Red List, with a large population of 1.6 to 3.3 million mature individuals and a huge breeding range. If you want to see this beautiful bird in Sri Lanka, take a trip to a beach in Sri Lanka during beach sailing season.